you are all over the world now, capturing some just beautiful, beautiful images. I think they see the content and they appreciate it. I
Yeah.
don't think they know what goes into capturing those moments.
Yeah.
And you didn't just wake up one day and the opportunity was sitting there.
I sold everything I owned, my car, to get me enough money to get a plane ticket back to New Zealand.
I think a lot of people have that spark, like they want something more than what they're
Yeah.
doing. I think very few people ever make the leap.
I think if you follow your intuition and follow that voice inside of your head, even if you don't know what you're going to do or have a feeling, I think if you follow that, it might lead to that. If you follow that instinct and that intuition, like I feel like I should be doing this. I think it just goes back to taking a little leap of faith, believing in yourself, just following that intuition and that instinct. And yeah, I mean, thankfully it all panned out. And it's kind of, if I didn't take that leap, that extra leap, I don't think I would be where I'm at today.
Take me back to the beginnings, like the young Jared Kreiss.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, I grew up in New Zealand, and just exposed to, the outdoors and adventure at a pretty young age. And so when we moved to Bristol, and when I was about 12, went through school and went through college. Wasn't really sure what I was going to do. And then, yeah, after graduation, I think that kind of, adventure and outdoors kind of lifestyle, kind of was reignited in me. I wanted to revisit my roots. So I went back to New Zealand and went over to Australia. And, when I was over there, I was traveling around, seeing all these beautiful places, and, I picked up a camera, and just kind of wanted to capture what I was seeing as best as I could with people back home, friends and family. And, yeah, I think from there it kind of became a hobby to kind of an obsession, trying to make everything perfect and capture, things that would really make people, just like have the wow factor, and just, yeah, being able to share the beauty as best as I could. And, it's been a journey. It's 2018, so it's been about, yeah, 6 or 7 years ago now.
So you had just finished college.
Yeah.
Like you didn't go get an arts degree or a photography degree.
No, I actually studied exercise and nutrition, thinking I'd maybe go into physical therapy or, some kind of nutrition, dietitian role, or I don't know. And then, yeah, I worked for about a year post college. I was a chiropractic assistant, so it's kind of in the field. And then, I don't know, it's just like, I feel like I need to explore myself a little more. I'm not really sure, if this is where I want to be heading. It's not that I wasn't satisfied. I don't think I was ready to settle. I think there was kind of a fire in me that I wasn't, I wasn't listening to, I guess. There's something, so there's like a spark there that I needed to follow a little more and, listen to my, intuition and kind of go after and see what else was out there before just following the kind of a traditional, climb the ladder path. And I think I've always been a little different in that sense, kind of, more of the freedom mindset and, yeah, less traditional path and living by experiences and stuff. I mean, it really didn't even come to me until, a year or so after being over there. Just, seeing all these beautiful places, and I'm like, I've got to find a way to capture this and share it. And it started with, my phone, a GoPro, and then from there it kind of progressed. Like, how can I make this better? Like, how can I, and I saw an opportunity eventually, like, maybe, people are really enjoying this, what I'm sharing. Like, maybe this is some kind of path. And, I think growing up, I was a little more on the artistic side. Wasn't like more, I was less book smart and more creative and artistic. So I kind of leaned into that. And yeah, just kind of once I started with it, just kind of came into session. And
do you remember, like, when you were young, were you aware that you had that certain kind of artistic gift, or were you focused on what you felt like you didn't have in the classroom?
I mean, I've always been hard on myself, so I
Yeah.
think I was always aware of what I wasn't good
Yeah.
at. But yeah, you definitely could tell that my passion and interest shined in that area. Just using my hands, yeah, drawing, painting, anything kind of creative or like woodworking, any of that kind of stuff was always more up my alley than.
Yeah. I think it's tough for. I think it could be tough for young men who don't fall into the typical roles. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah, it is.
and it's like it can. I suspect it can be. It can be lonely in
Yeah,
a world without any kind of real mentors.
right.
And you're having
Yeah,
to figure out a lot of that stuff on your own.
it is tough, and especially back then, it's like before, social media and the online space was really there was much opportunity there. It was kind of
Yeah.
still very new,
Yeah.
and people were a lot more focused and set on the traditional path. And if you had other ideas outside of that, they kind of, I don't know, they didn't believe in you almost, so it was hard to get support.
Yeah.
I think that kind of maybe the turning point for me, or the aha moment. I mean, I had only been doing photography for about 6 months. I picked up a cheap a mirrorless camera, and then I actually won a photo competition with it. They were hosting one in Brisbane, Australia. It was like a bunch of people got together and they basically walked around the city for, it was like half a day. There's maybe like 50 of us, and the goal was to see who could like capture it in the best way. And then at the end of the day, they would all come together and judge the photos,
Ah.
and the winner would win a camera. So I ended up somehow winning that competition and won an upgraded camera. And that moment to me was like kind of the aha moment. We're like, oh, maybe I'm all right at this. Like maybe I can do this. And then now I had even a better tool to refine my craft and to be able to do that. So,
And how at this point, how long had you been doing photography? Like how long since you'd picked up the camera for the first time?
when I like between then and when I won the
Yeah.
camera,
Yeah.
it had only been like 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was real short.
Uh-huh. But that was important validation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Find a way.